like a meeting of an administrative nature on some sort of joint project, and that there were members of the Martian civilization who he describes as being human, just like us. That is, the Martian civilization is human. And I like to put...
Sorry to cut you off, but does that mean that they are us, or that we are them, or is it just that we actually are two different civilizations, but we look the same? Or what do you think is going on?
Yeah, this is, thank you for asking that. This is our best surmise of the case, and people can go to exopolitics.com, and there are over 30 documents there that can be downloaded with regard to the civilization both on the surface of Mars and underneath Mars. Our analysis shows that, and incidentally, the last quarter of our book, Exopolitics, deals with the intelligent civilization under the surface of Mars. So that's a case study that we used in developing exopolitics.
Mm-hmm.
Both Earth and Mars appear to be having been affected seriously by the solar system catastrophe of 9500 BC, at which time there's good evidence to state that a fragment of the Vela supernova came into the solar system. Some of the fragments destroying the surface ecology of Mars and crashing into it, making it an oblong planet. And so the intelligent civilization under the surface of Mars are the survivors of that catastrophe. And from what we know now from the Mars rover Spirit photographs, the surface of Mars is a post-collapse ecology with various types of humanoids on it, with and many different species of animals. Kind of a very very dangerous and desolate place to be. But humans can breathe on the surface of Mars. There is a very thin atmosphere there. It's like about being at about 14,000 feet if you're on Earth, on top of a mountain or on a 14,000 foot plateau. So,
Alfred, have some of the. Go ahead.
Yeah, the 9500 BC solar system catastrophe also collided with Earth and destroyed our great maritime civilization of that time, which Plato called Atlantis. And we on Earth now are actually in a post-collapse, a post-catastrophe civilization. The supernova Vela did not destroy Earth to the same extent that it did Mars, but it destroyed our great maritime civilization, and we have been in recovery ever since.
That's a very interesting point. Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why Earth's civilization may be so violent, that is, there are 150 wars going on our planet at any single time, may have to do because that catastrophe is ingrained in our very DNA, in our makeup, and in our collective memory.
Yes.
So so that we have what researcher Barbara Hand Cloud calls catastrophobia. And it's like the theory we're in a collective state of post-traumatic disorder, and with a lot of lateral violence taking place. So that may be one reason, among others, why we have such a violent society. But now, with the resumption of relations between the intelligent civilization that lives under the surface of Mars, which we know from the 1971 data provided by Mr. Bashago of his meetings at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, then this represents a reunification of what was a unitary society, apparently, prior to the rupture caused by the cataclysm of 9500 BC.
I see what you mean. Really? So we're reconstructing things again, or at least these agencies are. NASA is interested in this, right?
Yes. Now, and so now they're doing it at a secret level.
Yeah, exactly.
And so what we're saying is that this secrecy should end, and these relationships and the secret space program should be made public, because it's all being paid for through taxpayer funds, and because it's a matter of public policy now, what the U.S. relationship, what Earth's relationship toward Mars should be a matter of public debate and democratic policymaking, because we have now, and we know through the photographs of NASA, that the surface ecology of Mars is very fragile, and that the humanoid forms and the animal forms could be drastically affected by these programs, and all of these issues should be debated publicly. So that's our position. And so we're seeking, as I mentioned before, that President Barack Obama, who Mr. Bashago met in 1980 as a student in Los Angeles, when both of them were students. Mr. Obama was in Columbia then. He had just entered into Columbia University and was back for a visit. And he was actually then being trained to be a future president of the United States, because he told Mr. Bashago in 1980 that he was going to be a future president.
Yeah. Huh. Did he say how he knew that then, or was he? What happened there?
Well, our postulate is that part of the secret time space program is that the U.S. has acquired and has acquired the ability to try for time travel teleportation. And Mr. Bashago announced this at conferences this spring in California and in the state of Washington, here in the U.S. And it apparently is a formula by which future U.S. presidents, such as George W. Bush, George H.W. Bush, his father, William Jefferson Clinton, and now Barack Obama, have been pre-identified by the secret U.S. authorities as